Hey, howdy! So, once again, we have arrived at a new patch. Well, the chat is very convenient here. Yumentuki.121 Patch 1. So, like I said last time, Fantasy Library is officially removed from the game, but there were a couple of other Spellloot additions, and Yumabako released yet another update, which I'm always a fan of. So I think we go there first. So, you might wonder where I'm going. Well, there is a new connection that's been added from French Street in the 3D room, which... one of my favorite areas, frankly. That one little 3D room is so freaking cool. I would love if one day it's completely filled out. This one's Batty's Bar? Oh. Well, this isn't Batty's Bar. Hello. Do you do something? Interesting. I have found France. Oh, right. So... ooh, cool. Another addition. Again, thanks to Sam and their tireless work. Single-player mode is now gone and has been replaced by private mode, which is nearly identical. The main changes is that while in single-player mode, I don't believe you can get badges. Hello, Shield Owl World. This is not where I was expecting to go. Hang on. Where are you? So there's a path to Shield Owl World, Floating Stones World, and whatever that weird map was that I just came from. Okay, let's look for the other one. Ornamental Plains, it says. Finally, something new in Ornamental Plains. I'm just gonna take a random guess and say that it's in this direction, and if I'm wrong, then we wander around for a bit. Because I know it's not Drain's Theater. But the main thing that I want to talk/rant about today, again, I suppose that talking about weird random things is sort of my element. Today I want to talk about the Fantastic Four and how I've become increasingly jaded with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, for starters, Fantastic Four has not been treated the best. Oh, here's our new connection. So, long story short, the Fantastic Four ended up getting caught in the crossfire of the weird, like, not merger per se, but it was... oh, here's the connection with Sign World. It got caught up in a weird situation where Marvel Comics was running out of money, So they sold the rights to 3 of their properties over to Fox to do whatever the heck with. What badge did I just get? Also, have I been here before? This is a Roku location. The music sounds familiar, I think. Yeah, I have been here. So, long story short, all the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man were sold over to Fox for them to do whatever with. And if you've seen any of the Fox superhero movies, you'll know that they're decidedly mid at best. Fantastic Four was one of the worst ones. X-Men, I feel like got done more dirty because there's at least the chance that Fantastic Four comes back, because if they're actually going to be doing Secret Wars, they probably need Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom is, like, inextricably tied to Fantastic Four. So they would need Fantastic Four back if they're gonna bring back that villain. Hello. What? What in the fresh hell? There are a lot of chasers here. Alright, I got a picture. Hello? Do any of these nameplates do anything, or are they just here to mess with you? Also, what happens when I get caught? You get taken to Zolgo's room? What a weird thing. Oh. Am I actually going to be able to make it to the center before I get booted out? I wonder. God, this event is weird. And it's an old event, too. There it is. Hey, Zoggo, what's up? Okay, what else? Right. So, in map 2192, accessible from French Street, and from map 2196, accessible from 2145... Wait, hang on. 219, okay, and 2196 has a way to obtain Red Riding Hood, and 2192 has a way to obtain Stretch. I guess ever since someone added an alternate way to get Motorbike, a couple of other creators have jumped on the idea. I just hope that no one adds in ways to get the super hard effects like Child or Bunny Ears. I kind of like them being intentionally very difficult to obtain. But Stretch and Red Riding Hood are both pretty simple to get. Because Stretch is from where? I believe it's from Graffiti Maze, right? Yeah, it's from Graffiti Maze, which is from Hospital, which is from Graveyard World, so that's pretty close. And Red Riding Hood, I forget how you get it exactly, I'll be honest. Something to do with Fairy Tale like the Fairy Tale Forest area. Either way, let's do the daily from here. And... really? Again? I guess we can do that again. CMYK Tiles World. Yeah, Love Lodge is Nazca Valley, which is Toy World. But what I was saying, we all know how that ended with Spider-Man. There was a bit of a weird sort of like dispute between Sony and Disney about who owned the rights to Spider-Man. And it eventually ended on both of them sort of. Both of them got to... Disney got to take back the rights to X-Men Fantastic Four, and Sony and Disney agreed to split the bill for Spider-Man, which... I mean, when's the last time that Disney has ever budged on anything? That was kind of impressive, so good on Sony for dealing with Disney's flock of lawyers. There you are, Love Lodge. But it left in the weird sort of question of X-Men and Fantastic Four. And so far, both of them seem to be on the back burner, including Deadpool, weirdly enough. You'd think that with how successful Deadpool ended up becoming, you'd think that they would have, like, they would have, like, I don't know. Disney always felt so profit-focused that I feel like they would see that Deadpool makes a lot of money. So maybe for once they're kind and they actually let Fox keep the rights to Deadpool, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Next time there is a Deadpool movie, it will be under Disney's roof, which is very strange. But of course, with how much they lean into the meta humor, I have a feeling if there ever is another Deadpool, it is going to be rife with meta humor, as if it wasn't already. But that still leaves our two X-Men and Fantastic Four. X-Men had a long stretch of movies, some of which were, like, pretty good, some of which were okay, and some of which were absolutely terrible. Culminating in the movie Dark Phoenix, which to my memory is the worst performing superhero movie of all time, right? It might just be... I don't know if that's globally or domestically, but I can't think of any other superheroes, any other, like, big superhero shows or franchises in non-American cultures that also bombed like hell. But X-Men almost got completely discontinued. I don't know where they stand right now, but chances are they're not coming back for a while. Let's see. God, that is a weird in-between. Then that leaves just the Fantastic Four. What on earth is Disney Marvel going to do with that? Now, note that I say Disney Marvel, and I've been referring to them as Disney and not Marvel, to the best of my ability, though I forget every once in a while. Because in my eyes, pre-MCU Marvel and post-MCU Marvel are two entirely different companies. But that just leaves my jaded butt with two options. Either rewatch the old Fantastic Four movies, which were, like, kind of alright. Nothing really to write home about, but they were fun as just, like, campy superhero movies. The other option is to rewatch the Fox one, which is atrocious. Even by the Fox movies like superhero movies standard. And this is the same company that made Morbius, to give you an idea of where the bar is. The bar is already on the floor, and they got a shovel, just so they could go underneath it. The other thing that makes me very jaded is that there have been talks of a Fantastic Four movie, and it has been delayed like 4 or 5 times at this point. I think now the working release window is 2025. Oh boy. You know, when something gets delayed that many times, I think you start to question whether or not it'll come out at all. Because movies aren't like video games. Studios won't spend 7 or 8 years on one movie. They'll just throw up their hands, say screw it, and move on to a different project. Because after 7 or 8 years of setback after setback, changing directors, changing studios, it's just not worth it after a certain point. At least with big, like, super long-winded indie projects like Amore or Silksong, it's the same studio all the way through. There have been setbacks, obviously, but there's no massive change in game direction. All the way through, they have the same general vision of the game. There are some tweaks here and there to account for new factors and new ideas. Most of the time, it's the same concept applied all the way through. You get to larger projects, like, for instance, I may or may not have been watching a YouTube series more recently, Paper Mario Sticker Star, or Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. It appears there that there were some pretty wide-reaching and very damaging changes in how they wanted to make the game. And the delays and the change in management and all of those things stacked on top of each other, and then by the time the game came out, it was kind of not good. I don't quite have the disdain for Sticker Star that some people do, but I definitely thought it was quite disappointing. Paper Jam, though, oh, I could go on all day. I despise that game. I absolutely hate that game because, as it happens, for those that never really learned about Paper Jam, it was a combination of a lot of bad factors all coming together at once. On one side of the coin, you had the Paper Mario end, where in the wake of games like Sticker Star and Color Splash, Intelligent Systems was in the middle of pretending that the older Paper Mario games never existed. On the other side of that coin, you have... hang on, I'll continue ranting in a second. It's the purple one. Is it the same spot? It's actually not the same spot, I see. Ah, there you are. So it's in that big mess down there. Oh, okay. It took me a second to even parse where I was. This map's a bit of a maze. Anyway. Back to my ramblings. So the primary issue was that it was stuck between a Paper Mario that was denying its past and a Mario & Luigi that was treading water. For those who somehow didn't hear about this, after Paper Jam, they released... I'm trying to think what all they released. They released a sequel... They released a remake of Superstar Saga, a remake of Bowser's Inside Story, and then the company fully went under. And it always did kind of bug me that the not intelligent systems, Alpha Dream wasn't bailed out by Nintendo, like proper Nintendo, or like bought out to integrate back into Nintendo proper. They just let the company die, which I always thought was sad. Because they genuinely created some of the best moments in Mario games. Mario and Luigi series is awesome. But, getting off topic. You had basically the combination of a sick man and a man in the middle of a midlife crisis. You combine the two. Why is there no book here? Weird. Is there a chance the book is just not there? So you combine an ill man with a man having a midlife crisis, and the result is a jumbled mess that basically denies the positive aspects of both games, or both game series. The story was bland and forgettable. The writing was... I'll concede, the writing was a little fun. For what it's worth, the paper characters and the regular characters bounced off of each other quite well. There's especially, a moment that comes to mind is both the... To give a brief rundown of the plot, it's classic stupid when worlds collide kind of a plot. The paper world gets released into the real world, and the Bowsers meet each other, and the Peaches meet each other, and the Marios meet each other, and Luigi isn't there for some reason. Or Paper Luigi is just not there at all. But, there was a very cute moment where both of the Peaches were trapped in a cage, and the Paper Peach was like, wait, I got this, and just turned sideways and walked out of the cage. So, like, there were, like, fun moments, and the dialogue, of course, because it was being written by Alpha Dream and not being written by Intelligent Systems, the writing was actually quite fun. Not to put Alpha Dream on blast or anything, but, like, out of the two, I trust Alpha Dream to write more consistent, funny dialogue a little bit more. But the writing wasn't really the problem, unfortunately. The writing was that the problem, and the writing on the wall, was that the gameplay was terrible. It was just another cut-and-paste Mario & Luigi game, but with a third party member, Paper Mario, who denies most of his lineage and just has generic jump, hammer, the ability to make copies of himself because he's made of paper, lol lamau, and various basically bros attacks that combine the trio's strengths and all involve paper because lamau. The trouble is that literally every single boss in that game is a Mario platformer throwback. Every single one of them. Even to the point of bringing back characters that haven't had screen time in literally 15 years. King Bob-omb is in that game. I don't know why he's in that game, but he's in that game. It's so infuriating because, like, you bring together two of the most creative Mario sub-series, and then all of the new characters that could be there are replaced by generic Mario bosses and enemies? Really? That's the best you can do? I'm not entirely sure who had creative control. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it was Alpha Dream, but it's really hard to tell, because neither of them brought their A game. Like I said, I don't blame Alpha Dream for this because the company was starting to tread water. And I can 100% blame Intelligent Systems for this because they have Fire Emblem to back them up. If they have a Paper Mario game that does poorly, they can pick themselves up and attempt to try again. Only problem is, every time that they've tried again since Super Paper Mario, I feel like they've gone about it in the wrong way. Not to be, I don't want to be overly negative. Oh, wait, there's a badge for that now. Not to be overly negative, but man. That being said, there's a ray of sunshine in the Thousand Year Door remake, because though Intelligent Systems seems to be ignoring the fans, they don't ignore money, and if this remake does well, it might signal to them that, hey, as it turns out, fans actually do like the old style. This is a very cursed concept, but I have to wonder what a Super Paper Mario remake in the modern Paper Mario style would even entail. If they were willing, I would 100% buy that game. Use it as an opportunity like what Wind Waker HD did to Wind Waker. Take a game that was already a fan favorite with some qualms about the gameplay and some tedious aspects, iron out the tedious aspects, and make an objectively better game. A lot of people hated Wind Waker because of the Triforce Scavenger Hunt, so HD came around and the Triforce Scavenger Hunt was just made all the better. It's still kind of tedious, but from what I understand, it is way, way, way better than it used to be. So just do the same thing there. There's only a select few areas that I have problems with. It's mainly the third level in each chapter. Okay, it's mainly the over there stair, I'll be honest. Dotwood Tree is annoying, but it's manageable. Over there stair is just ridiculous. So if they make a remake, they get a chance to fix it. Or at least a chance to add new things so that you can do it in a bit of a better way. Because I will say, although I want the games to be better, historical revisionism is still not okay in this case. If the game had tedious moments, there should at least be a semblance of those tedious moments returning. They shouldn't be completely plucked away from the game. But I am fully rambling today. I don't know why. But I guess we stop at Virtual City. Or Rainy Apartments. I'll use telephone when we get there and just see what I get to first. I'll either stop at the Hatsune Miku bar, or I'll stop at Rainy Apartments. Oh, oops. Oh, come on. There you are. But yeah, above all else, I'm very excited for the remake of Thousand Year Door. Just to see what they do with it, frankly. Because I may be jaded at Intelligent Systems for how they've treated Paper Mario, but that doesn't mean that I don't trust them to at least try to make a good game. Because they're that's their whole thing. They're really good at making story-based games. All the way back in Fire Emblem, the original one. That's just a thing that they do, and a thing that they do quite well. And from what I've heard, it hasn't really stopped on the Fire Emblem front. Supposedly, Three Houses is a very good story. So now I guess we just wait and see what they have cooking up. Alright, let's see. I'll use telephone. Anime. Virtual bar it is. There we go. I think that's all I got for now. Thanks so much for watching.